Hey everybody, and welcome back to another What the F Fridays.
What the fuck?
What the F, man? We're gonna be talking about a little movie. I know you haven't seen it. We talked about so we did a Dockside Rock episode just a little while ago, and we mentioned this director on the Dockside Rock.
Oh, okay.
And so I figured, well, I mean, I didn't know that was not planned. But I figured there is a reason, and we'll get into that when we actually get into the movie, talking about the movie. But I picked Heather and Puggly Drop A Deuce.
Yay!
So this is a Chris Seaver film, and it's definitely got a little what the fuck. It's not the weirdest, most what the fuck kind of movie. It's a very tame what the fuck movie, but it's definitely
Chris Seaver. So.
Chris Seaver. So you're gonna get some weird shit in it. Sometimes
Weird shit.
Sometimes actual shit, in the movie. But whatever.
Yay.
We'll see. But once again, there is a reason, and I will let you guys all know what the reason and why I picked this after we get back from checking it out. So we'll be right back. And we are back. And you survived your first Heather and Puggly movie.
Mm-hmm. I sure did.
What did you think?
It was cute. It's
Cute.
Yeah, I mean, if you know Chris Seaver movies, this is pretty much in line with what you might expect. Over the top, silly, ridiculous, grotesque.
Grotesque to the Puggly is Puggly.
Right.
It is. Her character is ugly, and
Debbie Rochon, they turned her into a Puggly Mama.
Puggly Mama, yeah. She just, oh man, and she had so much fun.
You could tell she was having fun.
Yeah, you could tell she enjoyed doing that. And I've heard things where Chris Seaver had actually talked about how Debbie Rochon loves to do that. Like that's the stuff that she likes to do, and
getting lost in another character that's completely not her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's so used to playing the sexy vixen and stuff, and Lauren Pushkin, who became Lauren Seaver for a little bit now as Lauren Pushkin again, she was wonderful in it. She's just, Heather and Puggly, which is Meredith Host and Lauren Pushkin, do so good together. And you had asked me before, like, have they been in other stuff, right, or whatever? You don't remember seeing them. They were in Mulva 2.
I remember Debbie Rochon.
Yeah, but Debbie Rochon was playing Mulva in that.
Right.
In the thing, there's also Heather. Heather comes in there, and there's Puggly plays the one of the villains that she has to fight or whatever. I guess almost everybody is a villain that she has to fight. So a lot of the old school LBP people are in this one. There's
Meredith Host looked awesome.
Meredith Host was beautiful and did a great job, and I think that was sort of the joke a lot, was that Heather, who's like way more attractive and everything like that, doesn't get anybody, but Puggly, who's just repugnant in every way everybody wants, and every single one of the movies. It started with there's a short film they did called 12 Inches of Dangling Fury, and it started it. It was where they introduced Heather and Puggly, and I think once they saw those characters and they have fun doing them, they're like, let's do some more with this. So then there's other people in the LPP crew. There's Matt Meister, who is known as Matt Puckercord in this. He played the Maestro. That was the joke, because Matt Maestro. Yeah. I don't know. And then there's Jason McCall, who was great as T-Bone, and it's so funny because he obviously sounds gay, right? Like, that's the whole point, is he has the lisp and everything like that, but he's straight as an arrow, or whatever,
Blood Fart Lake. I remember him in that.
Yeah, he's so great in that. There was Sean Green as Proudfoot, a character that I don't know if they'll ever bring back.
Yeah.
Kind of character, I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff that would be canceled today. That's probably one of them.
Yeah, it's not a very appropriate kind of character.
Nope. That's why I meant by grotesque and over the top.
They're trying to get away with as much. Like, this felt like a trauma movie.
And in 2004, you could do that. It's just, it's 2024 now.
Yeah. So you can't. Wow, is this 20 years old?
Yep.
Something like that. God dang. So yeah. And it's funny because this is like. So I remember when I first discovered this film, I was I had discovered, was it Quest for the Egg Salad first. That was my first one because I found this little book called Make Your Own Damn Movie by Lloyd Kaufman. Wonderful book. And then I looked at the book and I saw a thing called lowbudgetpictures.net or something like that. I think that's what it was at the time. And I was like, and Chris Seaver was mentioned. Oh, this guy from Rochester, New York is out there making movies. And they gave his, on the website, had his contact information. So I contacted Chris and said, I'm going to be checking out your movies soon. And Chris hit me up on AIM. You know, that's how long ago it was, right? Mm-hmm. And hit me up on AIM. And I think I always talk about this story all the time, but I messaged him and was like, hey, I'm about to watch your movie Quest for the Egg Salad. And he goes, if you never talk to me again, I'd understand why. You know, right? And I said, okay. So I watched it. I thought it was the funniest shit I've ever seen. I was a big Lord of the Rings fan, so something that was sort of, like, jokey of it, you know?
Plus Tina Krause.
Well, I mean, I didn't even know at that time who Tina Krause was. Right, but I didn't know who she was. That was, I think, my first Tina Krause discovery. And then later I Deborah Shawn and all the other ones through all the Chris Seaver stuff, and then through the temp-based stuff, like what was the one we watched, goddamn, the one we did for Indie Film Cafe. Anyway,
I don't remember.
We've done so much, and it's only been like not even a year, and we can't even remember the shit. But you know, all the J.R. Bookwalter stuff, all that stuff. So I got into all those movies, and Deborah Shawn and Trin Haga and Doug Sackman. So that was the main reason I wanted to do this. Is unfortunately we got really, really bad news the other day that and this was like basically almost this will come out and it'll be like basically a month ago that it happened. But unfortunately, Doug Sackman passed away. As of right now, I don't know any reason of what happened, you know. All I know is that, like, that broke a lot of hearts.
You could tell that Lloyd Kaufman took it bad because he's been posting several things.
Any articles or anything. I mean, Doug Sackman was a big part of the trauma. He was like the head of the trauma stuff for a little while, helping Lloyd out, and he was so young. He was like 20 doing all that stuff. I mean, that's amazing. Back in like 2000 and everything, and he helped Chris Seaver out, you know, and doing getting W. Shawn for Mulva and doing and coming out with them, you know, and he did a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And he worked, and apparently Chris Seaver posted recently that they were supposed to work together and unfortunately it didn't happen, and now it can't, and it's so sad because I really, really, really enjoyed, and I picked this movie because A, it's a What the Fuck Friday for sure.
Oh yeah.
And B, it's got a very nice performance by Doug, who plays the. Yes, he's the head. Was dad, but he's like the head of the mainstream films and stuff, and you know, mainstream movies are what put food on your table,
but they suck.
Right, and that's the idea is that, like, you know, he doesn't care because he's making millions of dollars. Apparently, you know, whatever. Even though his office is in a closet. Yeah. That's I don't know. There's some real big joke about
probably that. It's all you can afford in L.A.
Is that L.A.? That ain't L.A. That's Rochester, New York, where there's snow on the ground. So, yeah, it was funny. I thought it was very humorous and very cute. And Doug and Debbie looked like they were having a blast together. You know, so
they were all looking like they were having some fun.
Yeah, they definitely did. No, I don't think anybody really didn't. I mean, I don't know.
See, I knew about these movies. I just could never get them because you couldn't buy them.
You can only buy them through his website originally, and then through him originally. So after a while, I would just send him a PayPal of whatever. I still do, you know, where I'll send him. You know, that's how I got this Blu-ray. This is actually a limited edition Blu-ray. There's not many copies of it or whatever going on right now. So, unfortunately, there was like an issue where I got it, and he had like some leftovers, but like, so like, he thought he sent them out to me or whatever, and it never, you know, whatever, never came, and all that stuff, and he realized, oh crap, he hadn't. So he sent me a replacement copy and everything. I really appreciated just him sending. Oh no, well he sent me the movie without the disc in them. That was the problem. So I asked him if he could send me the with the discs and stuff, like whatever. He's like, I'll get them from the guy. Just, you know, give me, you know. So he got copies. Some rushed them right to me, you know, and everything. I really appreciated that, you know, and everything. So, but just because I wanted to see them, if anything, I really badly wanted to have the movies again.
Sure.
You know, I have them on. I have all 4, the quadrilogy, on DVD, but it's, you know, I just want to have them again because, you know, DVDs get scratched and overplayed and all this stuff, and I just wanted to have them again. I was so happy I did. This was probably one of my first like real favorites, you know, like, and it's a series that I think is hilarious. It started with 12 Inches of Dingling Fury, went to this one, which is Heather and Puggly Drop a Deuce. Then there's Heather and Puggly.
Heather does several times.
Yep, Heather and Puggly Crucify the Devil. Mm-hmm. It's the second one, and the third one is Heather and Puggly Cockblock the Apocalypse, which I think actually is really one of my favorites. I would have chose that one, but it's more like it's more straightforward and it's less what the fuck than this one. This one's more what the fuck than that one is. Plus, this one has Doug.
Right.
So there's a lot of reasons for it. So I guess, can you tell us the story? What happens in the movie?
Yeah. So Puggly is a grotesque, horrible creature in high school, and she is lesbian, and her sister's Heather, who's super cute but can't seem to get the guy she wants, which is Maestro, who is a cowboy-ish, and his buddy is Indian-ish, Proudfoot.
White Indian. He says Mexican Indian?
Yeah, Mexican Indian. And they're hanging around, and then Teenage pops in there with, what's her name? The blonde girl.
Hmm?
The blonde actress.
What blonde actress?
The one that was playing the high school hoe.
Oh, yeah, Teenage
Stone.
With Jen Stone,
Jen
yeah.
Stone. Yeah, so she shows up. They show up there. They're like there for a
they're there for a cameo, you know, appearance
and
at the school.
Then all of a sudden, Venus shows up and
at the comic book store.
Yeah, at the comic book store, and starts to lure them all in, and you know, Heather's kind of thinks it's shady, and so does Shemp, who is the sidekick of Puggly.
Who also has a big, huge crush on Puggly.
Big, huge crush, of course, because everybody does.
Apparently.
Excuse me. And, yeah, and then shit happens, and it turns out, yeah, Venus is not really quite for real. And there's a big fight. And,
there's a big fight at the showdown at the end, and then that's pretty much it. That wraps it up. I mean, there's we don't want to get too much
in the beginning
away. we were talking about why this wasn't on like Tubi. It's got a lot of music that you definitely can't.
There's a couple of grotesque sex scenes that are fairly gross.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be gross and sort of over the top, and a lot of fake dongs and blood everywhere. Chisholm baptism. God. There's a lot of weird fucking
So
shit. So it was.
It would be. It's funny. You could do that in 2004. Today, I just don't see the kids enjoying it.
Yeah, the
kids would shake their fist and say, "No, you can't do that."
They'd be offended, greatly offended by this movie. And that to me was so much fun for that, because I loved the offensiveness. I love the stuff that they said in it, where it just was like, we just looked at each other a couple of times. We're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and that happens a lot in Chris Seaver movies too, where these characters are just sort of spouting slangalicious nonsense, and you have no idea what they're saying, and it doesn't really matter,
No.
It doesn't really, further the narrative so much as just stuff that these characters say.
But they were funny. I mean, I was laughing along with
everything. There's always bits
else.
And pieces that are extremely humorous.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny. They he is able to get these folks to really perform, and you could tell the one who played Noelle, was her name Noelle? She seemed to enjoy really playing her character. The Puggly, she seemed to really enjoy playing Puggly. Meredith Host seemed to really enjoy playing Heather.
Yep.
So
there was a
good performances that I've ever
alien named Meat Boop. Who just shows up randomly at random times.
Kind of floats around in the background.
I don't know if you can hear that, but there's some thunder.
John Stamos' picture shows up as per usual.
That's a staple. We did I believe we did Anal Paprika for the short film Saturday this year, and Anal Paprika was the beginning of the John Stamos short, and had a lot of the same humor. I feel like and I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. But I feel like Heather and Puggly was his attempt to continue with Anal Paprika, because Anal Paprika was the story of John Simon and Alfred and God, what's the girl's name? Oh my God, my brain is blanking. But anyway, all of them, Toddy, all of them hanging out and everything as three friends or whatever. He just decided to continue with the same humor. There was, in a few Anal Paprika ones, there was times where Alfred and John Simon, who were brothers, would be in like the bathroom together talking to each other, and he brought that in with Heather and Puggly. So a lot of the same tropes he kind of had already done with his other characters, he brought it back, but it felt like a continuation. Without them being those characters, like the guy who plays Alfred is Casey Balker. He plays Teenage in a lot of the Teenage ones, so he was there. Chris Seaver was there as Johnny D.
And what I was going to say is, Puggly reminds me a lot of the original Mulva,
right,
which is the first one that I saw of him, and I could see that Mulva there. I could honestly see Bonejack in there too. I almost, for a second, when I saw Chris Seaver, I thought, is he going to do Bonejack? But he was doing another character.
He did another character. He did Johnny Douchebag. Johnny Douchebag's shown up. I think he was in like Filthy McNasty 2, McNastier, and stuff like that, I think. So he'd been in a couple of the things, but like his character sort of changes and evolves around until it got to the Heather Puggly, where it became, that's Johnny Douchebag.
See, I keep saying this. We have to get some paper and sit down and sketch out the Seaververse, just all the different characters and where
that would be a lot, yeah,
and where they appear and all the little narratives.
Would you go all the way back to his beginning roots? Because
I would.
He, beforehand, he had been doing things since like '91. I want to say, and so because I think 2001 was like what 30 years of LBP and stuff, and it's crazy. You know, to think he's been doing this since '91. Where I mean, at least
And
making the movies
and
that
there's
he
new
makes.
stuff coming out.
New stuff coming out, so which is great
Can't wait.
because for a little while I think he sort of didn't retire, but I think he took some time off.
Yeah,
And-
they had that nice little documentary about him too.
Right, and he has a amazing like a YouTube page where he gourmet scum, I think, is a lot of what
It was funny. You posted something about Chris Seaver. I forget what it was, and I came on there and said something about a ridiculous cow thing, and then he came on and said, "Nope."
I don't think it was me. I thought wasn't that the Todd?
Maybe it was.
Todd?
Yeah, maybe that was the one.
Yeah, because Todd had said something, and you said, oh, I think no. You said you think that that Chris Seaver's watching our
Oh
listening to
yeah,
our
I was
stuff.
watching our stuff.
And he goes,
like,
nope. Squash that with like a bug. You're like,
Yeah,
okay,
all right.
it probably wasn't. But he has
He's
like,
funny.
he has these, like he'll tell you the truth. He, how he is, whether you like it or not.
I know.
And I love that. I love that attitude, and his films show that. If you watch his films, you can feel that love of like being able to, this is truthfully Chris Seaver.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't Chris Seaver trying to be, somebody else, another filmmaker. He's not trying to be Tarantino. If he's doing a Tarantino thing like he did with Kill Bill, which was Kill Teen Ape, or he did, what is it, from almost night to almost day, when he did that, it was Chris Seaver, doing it. Like it wasn't him just trying to be Tarantino. That's not what he is. He's
Right.
he is unapologetically, Chris Seaver, and
Which is why it mystifies me that he doesn't like a lot of his own stuff.
well, I think also it's not just the finished product. It's probably a lot of the blood, sweat, and tears that went into making it, and the things that he probably had to sacrifice in order to get the movie made in the time that he made it. Because he only usually these, I don't know how long this one was. I think probably maybe a weekend. That's what he shoots them in a weekend. Imagine if he had a month to shoot, and with the budget
Right.
to shoot what he wanted. Probably just make 3 movies.
Well, and that's just it too. You can see the difference in this film and say Sex Squatch later on, where it looked Sex Squatch, even though it's a better film overall, looked 100% better than this one, simply because they had better equipment. So
yeah.
I imagine he would love to have gone back in time to shoot something like this with digital. That would have been great.
Well, he had mini DV, I think, was the kind of camera that he had. He had a digital camera. It just wasn't like the cameras that we have now, like the 4K cameras and stuff. He's doing 4K stuff now because he's got people who have these awesome cameras, like Clint. But yeah, it says like, so this was 2004 because he started the 12 Inches of Dangling Fury started 2002, and then I think like he did other stuff, and then he was like, let me go back to those characters and create a whole movie of
And
them.
I don't think we're going to see characters. I think he's gone past. I think when we interviewed him, he talked about how he's pretty much done with most of those characters, and
He's
going on to
he's creating new
stuff.
characters, or whatever. I mean, he even said it sounded
I
like
understand.
he doesn't want to do Teen Ape. He keeps selling his Teen Ape mask. Like he has no interest in doing Teen Ape anymore and stuff because he doesn't want to do the same type of stuff. And I get it.
He's gone past all that.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't mind.
I just wish to see Jock Schweier back. I think he's hysterical.
Yeah, he wasn't in these because he didn't. Was he even in? I don't even think he was in. He might have been in Cock Block the Apocalypse because what was that? What year? 2006? Probably not then. 2006 seems a little too early. So I think Josh Schweier didn't come till 2007 for like Karaoke Kid or so. 2000 at that area. So Cock Block the Apocalypse, which like I said, that was probably my favorite It's funny whenever I tell Chris Seaver it's like my favorite. It's like usually one of his least favorites. You know, Quest for the Exile is one of my favorites. Cockblock the
See,
Apocalypse.
I told him Sex Squatch, and he was like, "Oh, I like Sex Squatch."
Yeah, he likes that one. I like Sex Squatch, but I don't know. It's to me it's just Teen Ape again, and then they have the Teen Ape Sex Squatch movie, and
that didn't work.
It didn't work as well, but I still enjoy both of them.
Heather Maxon.
Yep. And then what is it? Yeah, and you said she could have done a good role in that.
That's who the Shemp character reminded me of. I could see, especially with the ponytails things.
Mm-hmm. She could have done that, but I don't think at that time she was working with them. I don't know. It was fun to watch. And you like the skateboard stuff.
I love the skateboard shot where you don't even see the skateboard.
Right.
It's just used as a dolly, and he just does that aside.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant. I thought that really worked.
Yeah, I thought so too.
That was a great shot.
It was fun to watch, like some of the shots
and
that actually they tried to make it as cinematically interesting as they could. There was like one part where he would just get closer and then he would pull back, right? And I was just like, that's just, I mean, he tried to do something different at times, like
he's not just being a clown. He's actually put some thought into how shots look and how they're set up and all that. So
and that's
people
fun.
forget that.
And it's fun because you look at a movie like this and like he didn't spend a lot of time, like they didn't have a lot of time to shoot a lot of this stuff. I bet a lot of the college stuff had to be shot in the same day or whatever, like, so they had to shoot the hallway scene, then shoot the classroom scene, then whatever.
Dude, your glasses are filthy. I don't know how you can see anything out of them.
Well, they're caked on, so there's nothing I can do about it until I get new glasses.
I see.
No, we tried to fix it, and it didn't happen.
How you gonna cock block the apocalypse is beyond me if you can't see
I'm not trying. I can see just fine. But anyway.
But it's funny. So you were saying some of these characters, even though they die, they show up in other Heather and Puggly movies.
Yeah, they keep going back, and that's never like, Proudfoot, I thought you were dead. Mm-hmm. It's like, doesn't matter. It's just the same as like when the Maestro obviously looked like he was dead. He comes, he was back, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody cares. I mean, these characters are just characters that are just whatever. They're fun. And then I think I don't remember if it was. I think it was Cockblock the Apocalypse, but the Maestro got changed. I think Ross Snyder may have played him or something in like one of the last ones or whatever, and they called him like fake Maestro or something.
It's a shame they couldn't have gotten Maestro to play Maestro.
Well,
that would have been fun.
Maestro,
yeah.
Stroh, wherever Stroh was over there. Stroh was over there, I thought.
He's up there.
Oh, he's up there. But yeah, no, he would have done that, and he would love working with Chris Seaver, because that's just wacky, fun, stupid shit. That's not meant to be serious at all. If you took a movie called Heather and Puggly Drop A Deuce as a serious work of art,
Come on.
you're something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because it is obviously just meant to be childish, immature, and silly, and
over
fun.
the top, grotesque, and fun.
Yeah, I absolutely.
Yeah, and that's just it. There are people who really don't like any of his movies, and I'm like, I think you're approaching it in the wrong spirit.
Well, and maybe some people are past the juvenile humor stage of their life.
There's always room for juvenile humor and toilet humor and ridiculousness. Come on.
Lots of toilet humor.
Have a little fun.
Lots of toilet humor in this.
Jackie would like this, I'm telling you.
Yeah, which is surprising I never showed her. I think I was always afraid of like the sex stuff to show her when we were roommates, because I was like, that's gonna be awkward when she sees like
clearly
fake dongs.
Not real.
I know, but fake dongs like hanging out, it's just weird.
I don't think she'd mind.
Yeah, I was always a little weirded out.
I think the worst thing is she'd probably say, that's stupid.
Yeah. that's probably. I mean, and
I couldn't see
she
them
kinda
working. I couldn't see that.
She liked sex watch.
I think that would be too much. I think they would be too strong-willed to work together.
She did like sex watch.
Yeah, sex watch was fun.
Well, no, she wouldn't want to work in the movie. She
No.
wouldn't want to do it because she didn't like working with Donald Farmer. Like after a while, like this is below Donald Farmer in the sense of like.
Yeah, but Chris Seaver isn't even pretending to be anything
Right.
more than
No,
what he is.
no, I'm not disagreeing.
Anybody going into a Chris Seaver movie has got to know, other than maybe that one person you were mentioning, you've got to know what you're getting into.
Right.
Especially if you've seen any of them.
Right. No, absolutely. But like what I'm saying is like, yeah. So was it Jackie was in Snow Shark, and I think when before she got the script, she thought it was gonna be like this much better movie, much better whatever, and then she gets there and it's the guys from Buffalo who do. Like the snow is like 1 inch.
I know.
Like, yeah, like
come on, Snow Shark.
I don't know why she thought it was gonna be better than it was. Like I knew what she was getting herself into. I was surprised she was so excited about it. Now I know she just didn't know. But that's the thing. Like she'd have to watch a bunch of Chris Seaver films before she went to work on his movie, like stuff like that. And I think that's what I think. I think they did do that. Like I think, if I'm correct, like he showed like Meredith a couple things.
She's always saying she wants to be in comedies.
No.
I think as long as she didn't have to do anything grotesque or involving nudity, I think she'd be okay with some things.
No.
But
yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. So, what is it? I don't know. I think it depends. Like I think Meredith Host got a chance to watch a couple of Chris Seaver's movies, and based on that and some and working with him on a couple other things, then she was in but you have to watch his movies and you have to appreciate them first.
Right.
If you don't appreciate them, this is not your cup of tea. Do not work with them.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right.
And so I'm very happy to own the quadrilogy on Blu-ray.
Does Debbie Rochon show up in the rest?
No, I think that was her only one.
Oh.
Unless she's in the Puggly Christmas special, which I don't think I've ever watched, so I don't think so.
Oh wow, you haven't seen it yet?
No, it's a short.
I'm surprised.
I don't think it's a finished short. I think it was supposed to be it says footage from.
I see.
It's not even a full thing, so I just haven't watched it yet. But I definitely want to check that out. I think it would be more fun if I would have wanted more Heather and Puggly movies. I was kind of disappointed when they stopped at Cock Block the Apocalypse, but then I started seeing them put in like Mulva and some other of the movies and stuff, and I was hoping that would just keep happening. Is that Heather and Puggly would just keep joining this Seaververse, of things, and we would keep seeing all the movies. But no, unfortunately, not a lot of them. You didn't show up for a lot of them, so whatever.
We got to sketch out the Seaververse and put it up on YouTube or put it up on the internet somewhere.
On the internet somewhere.
The people are demanding it.
I mean, if you create your Stinkopedia thing.
Oh yeah, Stinkopedia.
Don't steal it, anybody, or we'll kill you.
Why I oughta.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a what the fuck. There was a lot of weird shit in the movie.
Oh yeah.
It definitely felt what the fuck, but it wasn't. This is like one of the tamer what the fucks, because like you look at I'm gonna always go back to that stupid Power Rangers ripoff thing, because that was so what the fuck, because I don't think they even knew what they were doing. They just kept doing stuff and everything. And then the guy turned out to be a troll the whole time, like not an actual troll that eats people, but like online troll, and stuff.
Yep.
So there you go.
Tormenting people on purpose.
Yep, just like you like it. You think that's funny.
I do.
But anyway, yeah, this movie was definitely a what the fuck. If you get a chance to watch it, we definitely recommend it. It's
oh yeah. If you like Chris Seaver, you'll like this.
Everybody in the movie did such a fantastic job, and even if they badly acted, it was on purpose. You could tell. Like, he was told to say these lines the way or these people are told to say the lines the way sort of Chris Seaver expects it to be. What? And then Shippington has like these long monologues where she has to like say these things, and you're like, wow, yeah, I totally believe that. Well, I mean, that was how she was told to say it, I'm sure. And, everybody sort of did, what they could with it. And I felt like it was a lot of fun. I felt like everybody in the movie, like, knew what they were making, and they didn't care. They just wanted to make a fun little goofy movie and call it Heather and Puggly Drop a Deuce, which only Heather does. Really should be called Heather Drops
Several
a Deuce.
times.
Drops a douche, drops a deuce, and what is it?
Is it bad that I was fascinated with her eating that burrito?
Oh, the burrito scene was one of the best scenes. Like that should have won an Oscar, in my opinion.
I loved the burrito scene. That was funny.
Yeah, she was just really. She was like, my burrito. Like she had so much fun with that shit, and like once again, a lot of those things are not, I believe, come up with by the actors. I could be wrong. Some of them could be, but I believe, if I'm correct, Chris Seaver wrote these certain lines down with certain things that he wanted said or how he wanted said, and he told them, you need to say it like this, right?
And it wouldn't surprise me if that was shot on her lunch break so that she could have lunch and do the scene at the same time. Because she ate that whole thing.
Oh, she was excited to eat that burrito. Which is funny that it was inside her locker. And I'm like, that's not going to be hot then, right? I'm like, oh my god, that's terrible. But it was funny. It was a funny stuff. The burrito scene, just the lines of dialogue where she would, say like key raps, right, and things like that. Just weird.
Ever get to meet her, I'm going to say, can I watch you eat a burrito? She's going to be like, okay,
she's going to be like, go watch.
You're weird.
Go watch Heather and Puggly and Drop a Deuce. Then you can watch me eat a burrito.
Put it on repeat.
Oh god. Oh, there's some fetishes out there I found out. But Lord.
She was just so happy to eat that burrito. It was just funny.
No, at least there are no feet in this movie, as that I remember.
No.
There was a comic book store, and there was some locations. There's like a outdoor of a bowling alley. There was a couple things, so I was happy with it. Anyway, all in all, I say check it out if you get a chance. Find Chris Seaver. I don't know if he's still selling this. Unfortunately, it was a limited thing. That's why I jumped on it as quickly as I could. It was expensive because it's 4 movies, so it's like $10.
Because of the music, you can't really expect it to be sold.
Yeah,
anywhere.
And you can't like sell it anywhere else. So he has to sell it online, and
much like Karaoke Kid.
Or sell it. I think he can sell it at conventions because nobody's gonna come after him on that.
Yeah, that's cool. But, so maybe we pop into Cinema Wasteland. Maybe he'll be there.
I don't know if he'll be there, but we will be. We're planning to be.
If he's there and he's got it, I may pick it up.
Yeah, if he has it. So Chris, if you get a chance to get more copies, I'm sure there's still people who Once again, I think it was limited for a reason. I think he was only able to do a certain amount. Like he was only allowed to do a certain amount, and then he was done. So, but if he has more copies or whatever, I'd love for you to get a copy of it because you don't. I mean, you watched that one, but you got 3 other movies to watch on this thing, and that's another thing why we we did Short Film Saturday, did Paprika, we did Sex Squatch this year, and we did this one this year for What the Fuck Friday, and I think. Like for a bunch, maybe Quick Review Thursday might have a Chris Seaver one, and like I'm gonna because Paul hasn't seen every Chris Seaver movie. I've seen almost every Chris Seaver movie. There's a couple I haven't probably seen of the Warlock movies, but I've seen pretty much every LBP movie that that's been out, or whatever. And some I like more than others, or whatever. But I don't think I've ever not liked a Chris Seaver movie. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's been one.
I can't think of one that
I don't think there was one I didn't like. Usually it's one I didn't like as much as the other ones. That's usually the thing. So.
Right.
Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed this. Check us out. Like I said, we'll probably do a quick review Thursday at some point with another Chris Seaver this year. I want to keep.
Cool.
I want to keep doing that where we do 4 Chris Seavers a year because he's got so many that he's done. He's gonna get mad because we haven't done any of the newer ones, and those are the ones he's enjoying
let's
putting
do
out.
One.
Yeah. Well, I guess Sex Watch wasn't new. It was new. So we need to get new one.
We could do something like the Weirdsies.
Yeah, that's a little newer, but still, I would love to do like his new one that's coming out.
Oh wow, yeah.
At some point.
If I can get a copy of the documentary, you can do it for Docs at Rock.
Ooh, good call. Or you could have it where we could do it through Zoom and stuff because it's on Tubi. So
nice.
All right, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let us know what you feel and how you feel about this. Like if you're a big Chris Seaver fan, if you're a fan of LPP, old school stuff. If you've ever seen Heather and Puggly, any of the Heather and Puggly movies, I mean, this was the start of it.
Well, that's a thought. Maybe you could get somebody on to show up on Zoom and to watch the documentary with us. Somebody from the Seaververse, and then we can watch the movie, talk about it, and they can give their background on their experience working within the Seaververse.
Isn't that what they did on the documentary?
Yeah, but they don't get everybody.
Oh, just you saying somebody who hasn't been on the documentary?
Yeah, or whoever, anybody. Maybe they don't get. Maybe they talked about it, but they didn't get everything they said. They probably only got like 5 minutes of what they really talked about.
We'll see. We'll see.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll chat with you soon. Until then, everybody.
Bye. Drop a deuce later. Or a trice. I mean, I'd love to get Chris Seaver himself, but I very much doubt that.